I look around and I just kind of chuckle to myself. I'm like, hey, I'm a signals intelligence analyst, and I am here in a helicopter with like 60 badass guys, and we're about to go on a mission to take down a high-value target. Like, this is awesome. My name is Charlie Ezzell. I am in the Ranger Regiment, and I am in MI.
Born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, Staff Sergeant Ezzell attended Sewanee, the University of the South, and aspired to be a pro baseball player.
In college is when I found out I didn't have the skills to be a professional baseball player. So I decided that, give the military a try. I felt like it was important to give back to a country that had given me so much.
Having learned French in college, Staff Sergeant Ezzell sought to combine his love of language with a desire to work in special forces.
When I first walked into the recruiter's office, they were like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to be a special forces sniper team leader. They just kind of laughed, and they're like, well, I mean, that's not really how it works. But here's what we can do for you. We can guarantee that you can go to the language school, and then we'll make you a 98 series, which at the time was what now is a 35 series. And then special operations forces will always come around. They're always going to be recruiting, and you'll just volunteer for that.
After basic training, Staff Sergeant Ezzell received the MOS of Signals Intelligence Analyst, was trained in Arabic at the Defense Language Institute, and was sent to Goodfellow Air Force Base for advanced individual training. That's when he got his shot with the Rangers.
They were starting a new Ranger Special Troops Battalion, and were recruiting linguists as well as signals intelligence analysts. At the time, it was called the Ranger Indoctrination Program. The experience going through RIP was a pretty eye-opening one, because it is hard to find that individual that not only is good at being an intelligence professional, but is willing to go through a pretty grueling selection process. It's definitely not for everybody.
After 8 intense weeks of training, Staff Sergeant Ezzell succeeded as one of the first MI soldiers to graduate from what's now known as Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, or RASP, and became an Army Ranger.
It's a great feeling of accomplishment that you look around and you know that these are the kind of guys that you want to be around when you're deployed.
In May of 2008, and on his first deployment, Staff Sergeant Ezzell and D Company, 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, were sent on a historic mission to capture a high-value target.
You could kind of tell it was a little bit different mindset. You knew that there was going to be a gunfight, and everyone was excited about being able to do that, because that's why you join the Ranger Regiment, is to go and fight.
The assault is carried out with 2 teams, one landing north of the compound, while the team with Sergeant Ezzell lands to the south.
As we're landing, we're under fire like immediately, and we're like, wow, this is gonna get really crazy, like really fast. My helicopter landed close to the target building. Because of our proximity to that building, we were able to secure it relatively quickly, and we took a lot of the personnel that were inside, off guard.
As the main target building is secured, the fighting continues outside. During the course of the battle, one of Ezzell's teammates, Staff Sergeant Leroy Petrie, is not only shot through both legs, he witnesses a live grenade landing between himself and 2 other Rangers. In a selfless act, Petrie picks the grenade up and attempts to throw it away from the area. As he releases, the grenade explodes, severing his right hand from his arm.
I still remember it pretty vividly. Him coming over the radio and asking, for help, that his squad was pinned down. But he's still maneuvering his squad, which was probably the most amazing, courageous thing that I've ever, witnessed in my life.
For his bravery, Staff Sergeant Petrie was awarded the Medal of Honor in 2011. The Rangers' mission was successful on 2 fronts. The battle was won, and Staff Sergeant Ezzell was able to collect a full cache of sensitive site exploitation materials.
What I was able to do as like a signals intelligence analyst was take a lot of what we took off the battlefield, and we were able to start processing a lot of that stuff really quickly. We were able to kind of get a better idea of the network that was out there and illuminate that and systematically dismantle like the entire network. And I think that showed, the great relationship between military intelligence, the tactical guys on the ground, and then from what they gathered, making new targets for them to go out on in the future.
As a signals intelligence analyst and Army Ranger, Sergeant Ezzell knows firsthand the invaluable resource MI soldiers provide to the soldiers on the battlefield.
It doesn't matter how badass you are, you're not going to be effective on the ground without really good intelligence personnel behind you. At the end of the day, we're all on the same team, and we've got the same goals. I love my job. I love the people that I'm around. I love the missions that we're doing, and I like the opportunities that I've been presented with.